Let me tell you something that will shake the dust off every excuse you've ever made about why you can't be well, why you can't be whole, why you can't be healed. Your body is listening to you right now. It has always been listening. From the day you were born, every word, every belief, every whisper you've spoken to yourself has been a blueprint for the way your body responds. The truth is, you don't have to beg your body to heal, you have to command it. Your body is always listening. It listens to every whisper you speak in the quiet moments when no one else is around. It hears the things you say when you look in the mirror. It feels the tone in your voice when you talk about your health. It receives the message when you say, I'm exhausted, I'm sick, or I can't do this anymore. And it does not argue with you, it simply obeys. Your body has been following your instructions, whether they were intentional or careless, for your entire life. The words you release are not empty, they are commands, and your body carries them out with precision. When you say you are tired, your body prepares to shut down. When you say you are in pain, your body amplifies that pain. When you say you're too weak, your body accepts weakness as its reality. But here's the unshakable truth. The same principle works in the opposite direction. When you tell your body you are strong, it looks for ways to express strength. When you say you are healed, it begins to align itself with healing. When you declare you are full of life, your cells respond with energy. Your body is a servant to your words, waiting for clear instructions on how to function. Think about it. Every single cell in your body is connected to your thoughts and speech through signals and responses. Science calls it biology. Faith calls it speaking life. The two are not in conflict. Whether you believe in divine design or natural processes, the reality is the same. Your words carry measurable power. Every statement you make is like a seed planted in the soil of your body, and those seeds will grow according to what you have spoken. If you plant words of health, you harvest health. If you plant words of decay, you reap decay. Some people underestimate this connection because they think of words as harmless expressions of frustration. They say, it's just how I feel, without realizing that those feelings, when spoken repeatedly, are instructions to the body to make that feeling permanent. The body does not distinguish between a passing comment and a lifetime decree. It just follows orders. And when you've been giving it the same orders for years, orders rooted in weakness, limitation, or illness, you should not be surprised when it reflects exactly what you've been saying. Your body does not have the power to reject your command. If you declare that you are getting worse, it will accept that. If you declare that you are getting better, it will accept that too. The deciding factor is not the strength of your body, but the authority of your words. This is why the shift begins not with a new medicine, not with a new workout routine, but with a new vocabulary. The most advanced healing system you will ever have is already inside you, waiting for you to speak the right words to activate it. When you speak, you are not just talking into the air, you are talking into the very structure of your being. Your voice sends vibrations into your bones, your blood, your organs. Your body absorbs the sound and turns it into action. That's why self-talk is not harmless background noise. It's a direct programming language for your biology. The more you repeat a word or phrase, the deeper it embeds itself into your body's instructions. And soon, you are no longer just speaking about your condition. You are living it. This is why people who constantly speak of their limitations rarely break free from them. They've unknowingly built a prison with the bricks of their own words. I can't, adds another wall. Every "I'm too sick" adds another lock. And eventually their body believes the prison is home. But when you begin to speak freedom, the walls start to weaken. When you start saying, "I am well," the locks begin to click open. Your words are the keys to your own health, and you hold them in your mouth every single day. The most astonishing part is that your body is faithful, sometimes more faithful to your words than you are. Even when you say something and forget it minutes later, your body remembers. It stores the instructions and carries them out without complaint. This is why you must become fiercely intentional about the language you use. If you knew your words were being recorded and played back in the health of your future self, you would guard every syllable that left your mouth. The moment you speak, a chain reaction begins. Your brain sends signals, your hormones shift, your immune system responds, and your body starts adjusting to fulfill what you have declared. This is not a theory, it's a design. The system was created for you to have dominion over your own body, not for your body to have dominion over you. When you grasp this truth, you stop waiting for external permission to heal and start issuing the internal commands that produce healing. Your body is not your enemy. It is your most loyal follower. It does not rebel against you. It simply reflects you. Whatever you speak to it with conviction becomes its reality. It listens in the middle of the night, in the early hours of the morning, in moments of celebration, and in moments of despair. It hears everything. It remembers everything. And it will respond to the authority in your voice, whether that authority builds life or delivers destruction. The choice of what to speak is always in your hands. Healing begins with authority. It does not begin with hesitation, with timid wishes, or with half-hearted requests. It begins the moment you recognize that you have the right and the responsibility to speak to your body with certainty. Authority is not arrogance. It is the understanding you were created with the ability to command change. When you walk into a room with authority, things shift. The same is true when you speak to your body with authority. Weak words produce weak results, but words rooted in authority set in motion a process that cannot be ignored. When you approach your health from a place of fear or doubt, your body senses that uncertainty. It mirrors it back to you, hesitating in its own response, delaying restoration. But when you stand firm and speak as one who knows the outcome before it manifests, your body aligns with that confidence. Authority is not about volume, it's about conviction. A whisper spoken with certainty carries more weight than a shout filled with uncertainty. Your cells respond to the strength of your belief as much as they respond to the sound of your voice. Authority begins with knowing who you are and what you've been given. You are not a helpless passenger in your own body, tossed around by every ache and every symptom. You have the ability to direct your body, to give it orders, to tell it what to do and how to function. That power is not earned through credentials or titles. It is built into the design of your being. The same way a captain commands a ship and the crew obeys, you can command your body and it will obey, but only if you believe in the authority you've been entrusted with. This is why authority cannot be borrowed. You cannot rely solely on someone else's words or someone else's belief for your healing. Others can agree with you, encourage you, and speak life over you. But if you do not take ownership of your own authority, the impact will be limited. Healing becomes lasting when you accept that the power to initiate it starts within you. This is not about denying the role of treatments or remedies. It's about understanding that their effectiveness multiplies when combined with your own declaration of authority. Authority does not speak in uncertainty. It does not say, I hope I'll get better someday. Authority says, I am healed now. It does not look at symptoms as final verdicts, but as conditions subject to change. Authority refuses to be swayed by how things look in the moment because it speaks from the higher truth of what is possible. It acts as if the healing has already occurred, not because it is ignoring reality, but because it is commanding a new reality to take shape. Your body is more willing to follow a confident order than a hesitant request. Think of a soldier receiving instructions from a commanding officer. The command is not given in the form of a question. It is clear, direct, and non-negotiable. When you speak to your body in the same way, you are sending a signal that there is no alternative but to obey. Every muscle, every organ, every cell receives that command and begins adjusting to fulfill it. This is the difference between hoping for healing and stepping into the authority to make healing inevitable. Some people wait to feel strong before they speak with authority, but the truth is, authority is what makes you strong. You may feel weak when you start, your body may still carry pain, but authority does not require present evidence. It creates future evidence. Speaking with authority is a declaration of what will be, not a reflection of what already is. This is why your first act of authority is often the boldest. It's the moment you speak healing over your body while everything around you tries to tell you it's impossible. Authority changes your posture. When you step into it, your shoulders rise, your breath deepens, your words sharpen. This physical shift sends a signal to your body that something has changed at the command level. It's like a new set of orders has been issued, and your body immediately starts reorganizing itself to meet those orders. Even without conscious effort, your inner systems begin to align with the direction you've given, because authority demands alignment. Healing that begins with authority carries a different energy. It's not frantic. It's not desperate. It is steady, calm, and certain. It doesn't keep checking to see if it's working every 5 minutes. It knows the moment the command is issued, the process has started. Authority gives you the patience to let the healing take root, because you know that once the order is in place, the result is inevitable. You stop fighting against your body and start working with it, leading it toward restoration. Every time you speak with authority, you strengthen it. Every time you issue a command and see even the smallest improvement, your confidence grows. Authority is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And as it grows, your words carry more weight. Your belief grows deeper, and your body responds faster. This is how healing multiplies. It begins with one moment where you step into your authority, speak with unwavering certainty, and refuse to let anything convince you to take your words back. Words shape health in ways most people never realize. Every word you speak carries energy, and that energy has direction. When you say something about your body, your mind begins to align with it, your emotions reinforce it, and your physical state starts to reflect it. This is not just an abstract idea, it is a daily reality. The human body responds to language like fertile soil responds to seeds. What you plant is what grows. The words you repeat become the patterns your body learns to follow, and over time, they determine the environment in which your health either flourishes or deteriorates. When you constantly speak negative words about your body, you are programming it to accept those words as truth. Statements like, I'm always tired, I'm getting old, or I can't do anything anymore, are not harmless expressions. They are instructions. Your body listens and adapts, match what you've declared. Soon your energy begins to drop more often your aches feel sharper, and your strength seems to fade. What you speak consistently, you eventually live physically. Just as a computer follows its coding without question, your body follows the verbal coding you give it. Positive words work in the same way, but in the opposite direction. When you speak life, strength, and vitality over yourself, your body starts searching for ways to fulfill those words. Saying, I am strong, I am healthy, or I am full of energy signals your mind and body to act in agreement. Your nervous system, immune system, and hormonal balance all respond to that belief-driven language. Even if your current physical state doesn't yet reflect those words, they set in motion processes that move you toward the reality you've declared. The power of words is not only in what is said, but also in how often it's said. Repetition cements your declarations into your subconscious, which is constantly sending instructions to your body's systems. The more often you say something, the more natural it feels, and the more your body treats it as fact. This is why some people seem to deteriorate quickly when they focus only on what's wrong with them, and others recover faster when they consistently speak about their body's ability to heal. Words are not just commentary on your health. They are contributors to it. Your emotions also amplify the effect of your words. If you speak with conviction, your body receives the message with greater impact. Saying, I feel great, while smiling and standing tall sends a stronger, clearer signal than saying it with doubt in your tone and slumped shoulders. The way you speak physically reinforces the message internally. Your body is always reading your tone, posture, and energy alongside the words you use, and it responds to the full message you're delivering. Negative self-talk is one of the most underestimated causes of declining health. People think it's harmless to joke about their ailments or constantly remind others about how bad they feel, but every one of those statements shapes the body's reality. Over time, these words become a mental script that the body follows faithfully. Breaking free from that script requires intentionally rewriting it, replacing the language of sickness with the language of strength, replacing the expectation of decline with the expectation of restoration. Your body is a mirror for your language. It reflects not only what you think, but also what you say. If your words are filled with fear and defeat, your health will often mirror fear and defeat. If your words are filled with courage and vitality, your health will often reflect courage and vitality. This is not to say that words are the only factor in health, but they are a significant one, and they are the factor you have direct control over every day. You may not be able to control every condition, but you can control the words you attach to it. The shaping power of words extends beyond just the moment you speak them. They linger in your subconscious, affecting how you make choices that impact your health. When you call yourself strong and capable, you are more likely to take actions that maintain strength and capability. When you call yourself weak and tired, you are more likely to choose actions that reinforce weakness and tiredness. Words influence mindset, and mindset influences behavior, which in turn influences physical health. Even the smallest changes in language can make a difference. Shifting from, I can't walk far, to I'm building my strength every day changes the trajectory of your progress. Changing, this pain will never go away, to this pain is temporary, shifts your body's expectation toward healing. Language directs focus, and focus directs energy. When your words lead your focus toward improvement rather than decline, your body begins to adjust accordingly. Words are the invisible architects of your physical reality. Every day, you are constructing the state of your health through what you say. The structure you build with your language is the environment your body must live in. If you fill it with words of life, you build a strong, vibrant house. If you fill it with words of defeat, you build a structure that cannot stand strong. Your body is living inside the framework of your words, and the quality of that framework determines the quality of your health. Believe before you see means choosing to trust in a reality that hasn't yet revealed itself to your eyes. It is the discipline of holding on to an outcome in your mind and heart before it ever becomes visible in the physical world. Most people reverse the order. They wait for evidence, then give themselves permission to believe. But true transformation requires the opposite. You have to accept it in faith first, because belief is the seed and what you see is the harvest. Without the seed, there can be no harvest, no matter how much you want it. When you believe before you see, you are stepping into a place where your words, actions, and mindset all align with what you've accepted as true, even when your senses tell you otherwise. You are acting in agreement with a future reality that has not yet fully formed. This requires mental discipline because everything in your current environment may contradict your belief. The circumstances might look impossible, the timeline might feel too long, and the evidence might be absent. But belief holds its ground. Belief is not pretending that your present reality doesn't exist. It's refusing to let your present reality be the final word. When you choose to believe first, you are setting the terms for how your life will unfold. You are telling yourself, your mind, and your body what to prepare for. You are speaking to the unseen, giving it instructions to take shape. The moment you believe, you are already creating the conditions for the outcome to arrive. Because belief acts like a magnet, drawing towards you the very thing you have accepted as yours. Believing before seeing requires courage, because it means living with conviction in the absence of proof. It means telling yourself, I am healed, while your body still feels symptoms. It means saying, I am prosperous, while your bank account is empty. It means walking with confidence toward a door that hasn't yet opened. This is the kind of belief that stretches you beyond comfort, forcing you to trust in a reality that exists in a higher place than what you can currently see. The mind has a powerful influence over the body, and belief activates that influence. When you believe something with certainty, your brain begins sending signals to prepare for it. Your thoughts adjust, your emotions align, and your behaviors start to follow. Over time, those changes influence your physical world until it begins to mirror the thing you believed all along. This is why some people seem to manifest change. They lived in a state of belief long enough for their actions and environment to catch up. When you wait to believe until after you see, you've already given away your power. You've allowed the visible to dictate your level of expectation. But when you choose to believe first, you set a higher standard for your life, one that isn't dependent on the pace or approval of outside circumstances. You shift from being a reactor to being a creator. This shift is where breakthroughs happen because you are no longer trapped by what currently exists. You are shaping what will exist. Belief before sight requires consistent reinforcement. The world will constantly present you with reasons to doubt. People will give you their opinions. Situations will seem to contradict your faith, and delays will tempt you to lower your expectations. This is why belief must be intentional and daily. It is something you feed with your words, protect with your thoughts, and guard from anything that tries to weaken it. Without this discipline, the noise around you can drown out the conviction within you. One of the most powerful things about believing first is that it changes how you carry yourself. You walk differently, speak differently, and think differently when you know something is already yours. This shift in posture and presence not only affects how you feel, but also how others respond to you. Opportunities tend to appear more often because you've already positioned yourself to receive them. People sense your confidence. And situations align with the energy you're projecting. The process of believing before you see often feels like walking on a bridge made of faith. At first, the bridge seems invisible, but with each step, it becomes more solid. Each small confirmation, each subtle change is like a plank appearing under your feet. Eventually, you find yourself standing on what you once could only imagine. But it all began the moment you decided to step forward, trusting that the bridge would hold you before you could see it with your own eyes. Belief is a choice you make every day, sometimes multiple times a day, in the face of whatever you're dealing with. It is a quiet but unshakable yes to the thing you've declared over your life. It does not require the approval of others, and it does not need constant evidence to survive. It grows in the unseen until the seen has no choice but to match it. The reality you are living in today is the result of beliefs you held in the past, and the reality you will live in tomorrow will be shaped by the beliefs you hold right now. Speak it once and trust means releasing your words with full conviction and refusing to keep digging them up to see if they're working. It is the act of giving a clear command to your body, your life, or your circumstances, and then standing firm in the belief that the moment those words left your mouth, the process began. Too many people weaken their own declarations by speaking them with hesitation or by constantly repeating them out of doubt rather than out of reinforcement. When you truly trust what you've said, you know it doesn't need constant replanting. It needs faith to grow. When you speak something once with authority, you are making a statement to yourself, to your subconscious mind, and to the very fabric of your reality. You're saying, this is the way it will be, and you mean it. This is not casual conversation, it's a decree. And like any decree, it's issued with the understanding that it doesn't need to be negotiated or justified. It stands as truth from the moment it's spoken, not because you keep reminding the world of it, but because you trust the unseen forces working to bring it into existence. The power of speaking it once lies in the energy behind it. If your words are backed by doubt, they become noise. If they are backed by belief, they become law. Trusting those words means refusing to contradict them later. You cannot say, I am healed today, and I don't think it's working tomorrow. That split focus tells your body and your environment that the command is unstable. When you trust, you hold the original declaration as the only truth, no matter what tries to convince you otherwise. Trust is what keeps you from pulling up the seed before it can sprout. Imagine planting a seed in the ground and checking every day by digging it up. It would never grow. Speaking your intention or declaration is the planting. Trusting is leaving it in the soil and letting it do what it's designed to do. Every time you speak doubt or fear, it's like disturbing the soil, disrupting the growth that was already happening beneath the surface. Speaking it once also means you don't need to convince anyone else for it to be valid. You are not speaking for the approval of others. You are not waiting for them to nod in agreement before you believe it yourself. The trust is personal. It's between you, your own mind, and the unseen process is already in motion. The more you try to explain or defend it, the more you risk inviting someone's disbelief to weaken your own. Silence after the declaration can be more powerful than constant explanation. When you speak at once with trust, your actions naturally begin to align with your words. You carry yourself as if the outcome is already guaranteed, which sends a consistent message to your mind and body. This alignment speeds up the manifestation of what you've spoken because there is no conflict between your words, your thoughts, and your behavior. Everything in you is working toward the same end without interruption or mixed signals. Trust also protects you from the emotional roller coaster of reacting to every small change in your situation. When you've already decided it's done, you don't panic when progress is slow or when things temporarily look worse. You understand that the process is still unfolding even if you can't yet see the full picture. That calm certainly keeps your energy stable, which is exactly what allows your body and your circumstances to continue shifting in the right direction. Speaking at once and trusting does not mean you never say it again. For affirmation or focus, it means you are not speaking it again out of fear that the first time didn't work. Repetition for the sake of reinforcing belief is different from repetition that comes from disbelief. The first builds faith, the second erodes it. Knowing the difference is key to maintaining the integrity of your original declaration. The more you practice speaking once and trusting, the more confident you become in the power of your own words. Each time you see the results of something you declared with authority, your trust muscle grows stronger. You begin to realize that it's not about saying it over and over to make it real. It's about saying it once with such clarity and certainty that reality has no choice but to bend to it. Over time, this habit becomes a way of life. You stop speaking casually about what you don't want, and you become intentional about the declarations you make. You understand that your words are not just sounds, they are instructions. And when you trust those instructions without wavering, you give them the freedom to work on your behalf without interruption. Live as if it's already done means stepping into the mindset, posture, and habits of someone who has already received what they've been believing for. It's about acting in agreement with the reality you've declared even before it appears in the physical world. When you live this way, you're not pretending or playing a role. You are aligning your daily behavior with the future you've claimed as yours. This alignment sends a clear signal to your mind, your body, and the world around you that there is no difference between your faith and your actions. When you live as if it's already done, your language changes. You stop talking in terms of and start speaking in terms of when or now. Instead of saying, I hope I'll get better, you say, I am healthy. Instead of saying, one day I'll be successful, you say, I am successful. This change in language is not delusion. It's a declaration that refuses to be bound by current circumstances. Your words become the verbal proof of the reality you're living toward. Your body responds to this shift as well. When you move, stand and breathe like someone who already has what they've been believing for. Your physical state starts to match your internal belief. A person who has already overcome doesn't carry themselves with defeat. They carry themselves with assurance. This physical confidence communicates to every part of you, your mind, your emotions, and even your cells, that you are living in the reality you've chosen. Living as if it's already done also changes your decisions. You begin to make choices that support the outcome you've declared. If you believe you are healthy, you start eating, moving, and resting like a healthy person. If you believe you are prosperous, you make financial decisions like someone who manages abundance. Your belief stops being something you just talk about and becomes the foundation for how you live every day. This way of living keeps you out of the trap of waiting. Many people put their lives on hold until they see change, but that delay often keeps the change from coming. When you live as if it's already done, you bypass that waiting period because you are already walking in the reality you desire. The more you align with it now, the faster it becomes visible because your actions are pulling the unseen into the seen. It also removes the pressure of constantly checking for progress. If it's already done, there's nothing to prove. You don't need to wake up every day asking, has it happened yet? Instead, you live in a steady flow of confidence, knowing it's unfolding exactly as it should. That stability is powerful because it keeps you focused on living, not doubting. And that focus strengthens your ability to sustain the outcome when it does fully manifest. Living this way influences how others see you too. People respond differently to someone who carries themselves as though their goal is already achieved. They take you more seriously, they trust your vision, and they often begin to treat you according to the reality you've claimed. This external validation is not the source of your belief, but it does create an environment where your desired outcome becomes even more supported. This principle also works on a subconscious level. Your brain does not fully distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically real. When you act out your belief, your subconscious begins to program your body and mind to match it. Over time, your habits, reflexes, and even your automatic thoughts start lining up with the future you've been embodying. This makes it much easier for the outcome to become real because you've already conditioned yourself to receive it. Living as if it's already done requires consistency. You cannot embody your belief one day and contradict it the next. Your actions, words, and mindset must remain aligned so there is no gap between what you say and what you live. This consistency builds momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces in creating lasting change. Every day you live in alignment, you strengthen the foundation of your desired reality. When you live as if it's already done, you are sending a clear and unshakable message to yourself, to your body, and to the world that your belief is not a wish or a fragile hope. It is your reality in motion, and you are simply walking it out until every visible detail catches up with what you already know to be true.